Well, I'm going to tell you about a place in southern Arizona. I'm going to tell you why I happen to be looking at this part of the map, and then I'll tell you about some things I found here. I was going to be visiting nearby, and I thought, well, if you want to look at archaeology, you got to follow the water. So here was a nice looking draw, and I thought I'd just look along the sides of the draw, and I was in a topo map actually. I think anyway, I'm moving up this draw here, moving along. And what happened? Oh, I already missed it. Going up this draw, you get to this hill here. This is in the middle of the thing. You go, oh, that's an interesting feature. Things ought to be located nearby. And oh, now what is that? It's that little dimple. Well, you look in at that, and in different seasons you get better or worse images of this little dimple. But that's a pueblo. That's an old ruin right there. And I can tell you that it had walls that were lined up with this thing. So you think archaeoastronomy when you're looking at these things. Anyway, I poked around a little bit more in this valley. I could tell you some other things I noticed. I noticed, for example, and this is a good one, you zoom in on this thing, you go, well, that sure does look like a suspiciously square shape there. Is that a pyramid by any chance? We're in 3D. Let's have a look. How does that go? Well, so then after a while you look at this, and there's nothing more you can learn from looking at the picture other than this, that the axis of this pyramid is not quite centered with the axis of this little plaza that it's sitting on top of. I know I'm taking too long and I should mind my seconds going by, but one of the things I just did recently was to look and see, what's along the axes of this pyramid. And I'm not talking about this axis here. I'm talking about this axis here. So you look along that axis, and what do you see over there? Well, what you see from here is the next hill over, right? Interesting. And so what about the other axis of this thing, the perpendicular axis going in that direction? What do we see? Well, whoopsie. Come on, Google Earth, you can behave. Get this straightened out. So I want to go perpendicular to this. I want to look this way. And of course, what horizon doesn't have something prominent sitting right on top of it? So it looks, and I know I'm not making a good case for it here, but it looks like this thing is lined up with neighboring hills and views. So you could check that out if you had an inkling towards the astronomical. But I just sort of poke around. I look up this valley, for example. Are we in 2D yet? Let's go back to 2D. I look up this valley a little further, and I just don't know why I was looking at these hills in more detail. Where'd it go? Jeez. There's a hill up here that's got something pretty strange along it. I'm not going to find it just scooting around like this. Where did it go? Well, it's a geoglyph of some sort up here. I don't know why I'm not seeing it on one of these hills. It's an old volcano, isn't it? So anyway, I tell you, this valley's got some interesting features. And I'd like to, this is a road access. I think it's a ranch of some sort, but what's going to stop you? You park your car, you walk. How many feet is that? Not too many. Off you go. I'm going to stop the video here.